I'm sorry, what just happened?
Step 1, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4,
wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Yo, set your affirmations, aspiration, the aftermath of preparation. Good food, good mood, blood in circulation. One step at a time, yeah, that's how you make it. Set a goal you control and the steps you take them. I try to pick one thought, have some concentration. And if I make a mistake, it's called education. I try to do this every day, call it replication.
rise with the sun. Step 2, get some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you want to be. Step 4.
We got 4, 3, 2, 1. Do it.
I did.
Well, hello.
All right.
Technical difficulties.
All right. Well, we are going live today to talk with the Remix Racing Project. But first, before we go and bring Jeremy and Shanea on, we're going to go ahead and cover Taste of Racing from August. Is we both had some nerves that we were getting over. I hadn't been on track in a year, and last time you were at Pacific, you had some fun, didn't you?
Nah, I don't like that track.
Yeah, yeah. But we're gonna go ahead and pull up Mike's session so that he can talk on what he did to overcome some of the anxiety that he was feeling, because he had almost high-sided, ran off the track.
I wasn't the only one who did that, though.
No, you were. No, I did too. I did too. I was coming out of turn 2 and thought I could get on throttle a little bit, and I went right into the gravel. So we'll go ahead and pull up Mike's session, and we'll put it onto the stream. And Mike, if you just want to jump to the sections where you had your a little bit of nervousness at first, and then what you did to overcome that.
Okay, that's nice. Alright, so what we're going to do...
So right now we're still learning OBS, so there's going to be a little bit of some of the stuff won't be super smooth.
And you might hear me talking to my stepson Dominic. He's managing the computer as we all learn this.
He is our tech guy right now.
I don't know anything about technology.
So right now we're on this view, right?
Right.
So what you want to go over to pre-show and go ahead and click pre-show and then hit transition so that it'll pull up the backdrop.
Okay.
Go ahead. You go ahead. We're all learning this right now.
Alright. So now
All right.
I get a fish.
I don't know if I have the mouse to show. Oh, it is. Okay, yeah. All right, there you go. All right.
Yeah, I gotta
Go
scroll.
videos.
There we go.
All right, there we go.
Alright, hold on. Let's have a little fun. Let's talk about this. 'Cause
Oh
Tim-
yeah, let's
Tim
talk
didn't-
about this.
Tim didn't do the audio. After this turn here.
Yeah, well,
for
it's
sure.
bumpy. There's tar snakes. It's not. Yeah. Whereas the ridge, though, the ridge is it's a very professional track.
Alright, so we wanted to pick on my session right here. Oop.
Yeah. We can go to yours, and then we can go over to mine.
Let's put Tim in this one.
All right. Okay. We can do that. We can go ahead and do that.
This was your idea, so let's do you first.
Yeah. So this right here was first one. So it's about 5 runs back. I had no intentions of like I said, I was turns and then turn in sharper on the slower turns. And right here, I believe, is where I pass him. Yeah. But it took me about 2 or 3 laps to really get comfortable. And then after that, I sped up. And I'd set my personal best lap time of a 144. And throughout this session, I was getting pretty consistent. I believe I had 4 laps that were 144, which isn't super fast. So I'm not sitting here bragging saying, oh my God, I was so fast. No, it was just the consistency. You want to become more and more consistent, because with that, then you'll find areas to go faster. But with this being Taste of Racing, you never know where traffic's going to be. You're not running with a bunch of people who are all going the same pace with you. This is exactly what it's called in the title, Taste of Racing. So you get a little taste, and it's really good to, it's a really good program that WIMRA and Track Time have worked together to promote, to get more riders from the street out onto the racetrack. And I believe this is where I make the pass at the kink. Yeah, 168 miles an hour, buzzing the side of the wall. And then after this is where I start getting more and more comfortable, and my lap times start going down because I'm relaxing and I'm able to feel the bike more. So, Mike, any thoughts?
I guess not.
No?
I mean, we could pull up mine, I guess, and talk about the first couple of laps where I definitely did not relax for quite some time.
Yeah, you were a lot more vocal. Like, you talked a lot more during your session, because it wasn't until like the third or fourth lap that I opened up and I started talking, and then that was actually when I set my personal fastest lap, was when I was talking to the camera.
You know what? Let's go back to do you remember where? Oh, you. Okay. Yeah, unfortunately, you don't have the lap timer.
Oh, I no, not like yours. I put a lap timer on mine. In the upper left, I have the lap timer.
But do you remember which lap was your best? Because we could.
Yeah,
pull
it was
that up
like
for-
number 4. I didn't label it. Go until you see it say personal best as you're scrubbing, and then go back. 146, so very next one, I believe, was 144. Oh, right there. Okay, that's one of those. Early on.
Sorry, we're not trying to be.
Yeah, it's all right. It's okay. We're going to be. I can't hear you over the video you're playing on live. Okay, so the volume.
Just adjusted that so that you go.
Okay. Okay. All right. Go ahead and drop these down in the comments section so that, like, if there's any tweaks that need to be made to the stream, let us know.
I'm gonna grab the mouse and figure out. Take that down to 45.
Yeah.
That top one is still too loud. That's part of the problem.
Okay. All right. So.
We're working on it, guys. We're working on
Yeah, right here is actually, I think this right here
it. This
my
is your
fastest.
personal list.
Yeah,
So,
because right here in this section
Down.
here, I'm catching up,
right about there.
to Brian. But he is super good at being able to navigate through all this traffic here. 'Cause you see how close he is to that rider, but he's super confident in what he's doing. Whereas me, I want to keep at least a good 5 bike lengths between me and the person in front of me until I come up here and I'm like, okay, I know what he's going to do. He's predictable. And then I back off some because I'm anticipating him slowing down for them, but then we hit it going right here, clip that, get kind of close to that wall, and then he's waving me on by, which was super cool. Oh yeah. Yeah. So, and then right here, I could go and go faster. Yeah, I did. I went faster on this lap. I went to, I did another 144, I believe. But, I could have done better, but I was being very cautious of the other traffic that was out on track with us. Oh, this is where I found you, Mike. Yep. Mm-hmm. This was funny. Hey, Mike! Because we were connected through our Cardos, so when we got close to each other, we could talk to each other. Anybody in the comment section have anything that they're...
No, I haven't seen.
All right. Let us know how the audio is now, as we can make adjustments. But I came flying through this section here, and then I believe I end up slowing down behind him because I didn't quite know where he was going to go. And on the Street Fighter, if you're going to get on throttle, you got to be very committed. All right. Does the video audio need to go down a little bit, or does our mic audio need to go up a little bit? But coming on down here, this was a super fun lap right here, going through all this traffic. And I really like getting kind of close to that pinch point right there. Yeah, right there, another 144. And then I go on the outside of him, and I'm like, all right, well, I've got this line. I'm going to hold it here. You can tuck in behind me. And in the 360 footage right there, you can see that he did. But, all right, Mike, let's go ahead and go over yours. Because I believe this was another 144 lap. It was doing pretty good.
God, the tracking on this is terrible.
Oh, it's the table. All right, yeah, because pretty much.
I don't
Go ahead.
really know what to say. Like this part right here, I was a little confused as to whether or not we were going in waves or if we were all supposed to go. So I hesitated, and somebody went in front of me, and so I was just like, "Yeah, I'm not meant to be up front anyway. I should not be leading the group." There was that one ride that we went on. We were trying to find Highway 16, and I think I took 4 wrong turns.
Oh yeah,
Like,
yeah. You're like, I am not
I'm too
comfortable.
ADHD to be the group leader.
Right.
Let's see. I'm not gonna try and browse through the whole video to find each spot, but this right here, this is called the bus stop when you're on Pacific, and there's one section where I clip these little bumpers coming out of the bus stop, and I was overly excited. It sounds like I'm excited because I clipped them. That's not the case. I was excited that I hit them and did not die.
Yeah.
I'm like, I clipped
okay,
that.
so
I clipped that.
so then was it that point though that you started loosening up when you were on track?
No, I had started to loosen up a little before that.
Yeah.
It is a phenomenal difference though, because the first time I was on track, if that had happened, I probably would have just flipped a U-turn and gone off the track.
He's like,
just like, I'm not even going around one more time. I'm done. I was pretty nervous the first time we were on track, but that time I was just like, hey, that's kind of cool. I hit it and I didn't die. Like, awesome.
Right.
So yeah, there was that. My lap times, I had told Tim before we even got on track, I was like, yeah, so I'm just gonna pick a pace and enjoy the scenery.
Yeah.
And so that
It's pretty much what you did.
No,
But then you got comfortable. And you started making passes. Yeah, there was you talked about where you had gotten comfortable and made a pass in a turn.
I made multiple passes.
Yeah.
But the lap that is gonna be my personal best from this session is the only pass that I made in a turn. But like even now already, like I'm not even fully comfortable, but I had actually already passed somebody.
Yeah.
Like on the warm up lap, I'm like, what is this dude doing?
Yeah.
But even after passing somebody, like I'm still feeling my nerves. I'm
This
tense
was the first
and
time
tight.
back
Like,
in this
my
turn.
arms look, my arms are locked.
Yeah. But so the warm up lap last time
Right
was
here.
where you almost high sided.
What froze?
You guys.
Oh, click transition.
Oh, we're froze on both cameras.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys can hear us, but we're still here. Hold on.
Yep.
We're working on it.
Yeah.
Click on the Ducati Dad's camera,
Yep.
and then there should be an option to restart.
Check the camera over here. Just kind of press the shutter button.
Which one's the shutter?
That button. The button you. Okay, now look at the screen on the backside. Make sure that it's good. Yep. We're moving. Okay. All right. Technical difficulties. Well, this is why we started early. Oh, the live froze.
I don't know if the live.
Oh, no. Okay, no. We're still good. We're here.
Because when I told you guys, the video was still going, but your guys' camera was frozen in one position.
Okay. Go to a different scene and then like technical difficulties, run that, and then go back. All right. Let's
Bouncing a little right.
Yep. It's loading. But it shouldn't take this long. Normally it might just disconnect the camera, reconnect it. That didn't sound good.
No, it didn't. Camera's on.
Disconnect it real quick. And then we'll reconnect it. I don't know what happened, but
Okay, we're back.
all right.
All right, go ahead and go back to pre-show.
right, we are back. All right, apologies for that.
Yeah, it's just us again.
Yep, go ahead and there we are. Okay, so back on over here, talking about your lap.
I don't even remember what I was saying before we froze.
Oh, we were talking about turn 3, where you had almost high-sided last time.
Yeah, so my first time on track ever and first time on Pacific Raceways was right about here. The bike fell into neutral or slipped out of gear, whichever way you want to say it.
Yeah.
And I kind of coasted, but when I got to about okay, so no, actually, I think it's closer to what happened?
You went
It's probably
real
right
far.
around here where it fell out of neutral.
You did, yeah, and you were towards the
And
outside, like
I
where you
got
are now.
right here, and I downshift, which put the bike into first, caused the rear to fishtail, and I nearly high-sided because of it.
Yeah.
Somehow I recovered.
It was
Stayed on track for a bit and kept going.
exactly.
So
That was oh, and I was in front of you, and you're
yeah. Poor Tim. See, I have this bad habit, good habit. I don't know. You decide. But I have a tendency when something bad happens to go quiet and focus.
Well, you made some noise. You're like, "Oh, that's not good," or something like that, and I'm like, "Mike, are you okay?"
No. What I said was shit.
Oh, that's what it was. That's what it was. All I knew was through the cardo, I heard him say something, and I'm like, Mike?
So here's alert, alarm through the cardo, and then nothing. Silence
Yeah.
for laps.
I looked over my shoulder, and I saw you were still going. You were moving very fast, but you're still going.
But it kind of reminded me of the when I was learning to ride on the bike, and we came up to that stop sign, and the car waved you through, and
That was
Tim. So I dumped the clutch trying to hurry through the intersection, and I popped a wheelie, massive wheelie. Tim said he saw me, the front tire, and then the underside of the bike in his mirror. All he hears is the engine as the bike comes up, and then when I get it back down, I kind of racked myself on the tank, so he hears, "Oh my nuts!" Like literally silence. "Oh my nuts!"
yeah.
So that was a good time.
Yeah, I was like, man, the bottom of the bike is really clean. And previous to that, I just put it all back together. So I was like, oh man, hey, everything looks good there. So
I guess you closed that. Is that why? Because I went down to 3.
You just see
Oh.
Do you have?
they can see less of that for some reason because it's really small right underneath your guys'.
Oh, yeah.
So if you just have it out of full screen, we'll be able to see it better.
oh, okay. Is there a way that we can adjust that before? Well, I mean, this is
noticed it for a little bit. I just didn't want to interrupt you guys.
This was the issue that we were having before, so we'll just. It's
okay.
fine.
Oh, that looks better. That looks, yeah, okay. It must be a resolution thing. Okay, so now let's get to where we see each other again, because there was something that I wanted to point out that I saw from your view that I thought I felt when
I don't remember what lap that was.
it was like lap 5 or 6. But basically, I come around, and right before I dip to the left, you see the rear tire, my rear tire going skid, and I fall into the apex, and then on the way out, you see the back end of the bike dancing around. Which was kind of exciting, because I thought that's what it was doing, but it definitely, you know how when you feel something on the bike, you think it's so much more dramatic from a third-person point of view, but it isn't.
It always feels more exciting.
This was the opposite. I didn't think it was as dramatic as it looked until I watched your view, and I was like, oh, wow, it did kick out some.
So, This right here is where I really started to feel a lot more comfortable. You can see the elbows are bent. I'm actually leaning forward a little bit.
Oh yeah.
I do have a bad habit. I like every time I'm coming into a corner, I brace against the handlebars as I brake.
Mm-hmm.
That's something I need to work on. Later, or not in this video, but in the joint video that we had dropped before this one of the corner workers came up to talk to me because, as he put it, I need to get my ass off the seat. He didn't like how close my pegs and toes were to the ground every time I came around his corner.
Oh,
and I
yeah.
don't blame him. It's definitely something that I've been trying to work on, but it,
Yeah,
takes some effort. Takes some effort, but
it takes mental effort to remember to overcome that, but also physical. Because when you're on track, from everybody that I've talked to and what I've witnessed, your butt should not be just sitting there on the seat like you're on a Sunday cruise. You're standing, just hovering over the seat, and that's something that we can talk to Jeremy about and kind of get his impressions on. But yeah, no, you're never just sitting on a Sunday cruise.
so this section right here is the roller coaster.
I like this section.
Like
You literally leave.
I don't like this section because right here is where I went off.
Oh yeah, no,
it was back more.
there.
It was back more.
Yeah.
But on this back stretch is where I went off track the first time that I was on here, and every time I come over this crest, I feel like I'm going to go into the gravel, like every single time. But this particular lap, this was my fastest time through the section, and did a pretty decent job carrying my momentum. 2 minutes isn't anything impressive. I wasn't setting the world on fire, but I was having fun. Like I said,
I know. I
was gonna
love that
enjoy the scenery.
expression, setting the world on fire.
But right here, I hesitate a little bit and then see that I have room, so I go ahead and I take the pass. Dominic, do me a favor. And press J on your keyboard. So this man right here is actually the gentleman who came up to talk to
That's
us
Jeremy.
after the
Oh,
session.
another Jeremy.
Another Jeremy. I was like, I know it's a J name, but is it really Jeremy? Because we're talking to a Jeremy. Anyway.
Right.
Don't mind me. Kaboosh. Right next to the bumps for the bus stop.
I love this front straightaway right here. When you come out of the bus stop and you get on throttle, and that was something we talked about in the highlight video, because you said as you came out of the bus stop, you popped a wheelie and you started pointing at that pinch point, the wall.
Mm-hmm.
When I'm coming out, I do the same thing, except for I was like trying to lean to the left to get the bike to turn, and then like
left,
you go
lean
through.
to the right.
You're full throttle down that front straightaway, going past that first wall. Then you kind of drift out to the outside, and then you're back towards the inside because that second kink, and you're just going. But that's also why I like the back stretch back there, the roller coasters you said. But you don't like you had some bad memories from.
Well, not just
there.
that, but the whole time I'm going down that back stretch, the whole bike felt.
Oh yeah, the
unsettled.
suspension.
It
Yeah,
was not great. But yeah, the funny thing is, I'm not actively watching the lap timer on the bike. Like, I'm not looking down at it to check it at all. Like, I glance at my speedometer.
yeah.
I kind of celebrate just because that lap felt the best,
Right.
and it turned out that it was. So I think it's actually this next lap right here.
Right. Oh yeah.
So I think this is where you're gonna catch me.
No,
No,
because there was nobody in front of you.
Yeah, so
I think that this is the two people that were the one gal with the flannel.
it was this. I clipped it.
Yeah.
That looked
Yeah.
like-
Yeah, it
I
looked
don't know,
like
we don't
it.
have audio for.
we
for the video.
can't hear
it.
we can't hear it on our side. But
Again, I barely react when things go wrong. So I'm just
Yeah,
like,
I
you
know.
know what? I'm at a certain point, I just quit troubleshooting and just go with it. Like,
yeah, but you can tell, like right here, like you were saying with your arms, you are so much more. Oh, and that was Josh. That was the Oh, so this is the lap that I passed you.
Yeah, I think this guy here is the only reason I was waiting. It's not an actual race, guys. So
No.
you know, I'm being courteous. I'm letting the faster guys go ahead of me before I pass this guy, and I wait till after the turn. Taste of racing, you're not supposed to pass in the turn, which is why on that fastest lap when I did, I was like, bad Mike, because
Yeah.
they ask you not to. They're like, don't pass in the turn.
They also say give.
I definitely should not have passed on the inside.
Yeah.
I'll admit that.
So now if you look in the upper left window, you'll see where I come in. And we were just talking about not passing. But okay, right here, you see the back end slid? And then on this exit here, it goes and starts dancing around again as I'm accelerating. But it definitely looked a lot more dramatic in the video than it felt on the bike when I positioned myself and the rear end slid a little bit as I went into the turn. And then on the acceleration on out of there, the back end kind of did some dancing around a little bit. But so going into the next taste of racing, what are you have any thoughts or anything that you're planning on working on?
I'm just gonna be working on getting off the seat.
Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely what I'm planning on working on. Is a little bit is more on body position and smooth, being a lot more smooth when I, even more smooth, getting on throttle, off throttle brakes, and really setting up for everything prior to the turns, which is one of the things that that Jeremy had gone and told us about. So we're going to go ahead and take a short little break here as we set up and prepare for the next segment when Jeremy and Shanea come and join us. So go ahead and just play the highlight video over here from Taste of Racing. It'll only be a couple minutes, guys. We're working on some bugs here. Just go to beginner track day mistakes. That one. And then go ahead and mute our mics over there. Welcome to the channel. This is the Ducati Dads. Today, Will, what are we doing?
We're heading over to Pacific Raceways for Taste of Racing.
And now, last time we did this, we were trying to head over to the Ridge Motorsports Park where we had a little bit of an oopsie. Oh, no. With Furio, right after we got them all prepped up. That's not going to happen today. We're going to pull the mirrors off, make sure everything's all ready to go. All right, so we just got done getting the mirrors off. We went and flushed all of our hydraulic fluids. We're about ready to load it up. Will this time is just going to spot.
Okay.
All right. No improv helping so we don't have another accident.
It was the jazz feet.
It was the jazz feet. Your jazz feet where you're trying to dance. So, all right. Let's get this thing moving on up here. Okay, we're up. Let's go to the track.
Yay!
So, all right, we got to grab all of our straps. All right, we're all loaded up. got the bike strapped down. We're getting ready to head on over to Pacific Raceways. And for us, it's 9:45 right now. We're shooting to be at Pacific Raceways at around 10:15, 10:30. But for you, it'll be a matter of seconds. All right, we're over here, Pacific Raceways. We just got checked in. I got our both out here. Got our bikes over here. Finally. They've got a couple races left to go before we get suited up to go out on track. This is going to be an awesome day. Lots of fun. Let's go. All right, so this time, the plan. You said last time.
So, no. But you're asking if I want to connect the cars.
Yes.
We can, but you're going to disconnect in like 30 seconds. Just like last time.
Right.
This guy says, oh yeah, I'll lead you around the track, follow me, and then just gone. Right? Like, I never saw him again. But like, it's fine, it's cool, you know. We'll go out there, have your fun, ride your ride, live your best life, ride your best ride, have a time, okay? I am just gonna find a pace and enjoy the scenery.
All right.
Okay?
Okay, sounds good. I like it. Have you nose kiss? She licked it.
I licked the tip of his nose.
All right, good to go? Suit up, we'll see you out there in about 5 minutes.
All right, let's go.
All right, so checkered flag, we go around one more time before exiting. I'll probably mess that up and exit on the checkered flag lap. Oh, if we don't go soon, I'm gonna die. I'm about to heat stroke, baby.
Just imagine if you were in full weathers. My God, I could hear that through the car though.
Right. Yes, you are loud. You're a loud boy.
Why is this guy giving me the side eye? Oh shit. Throttle's super sensitive right now.
Are we? I'm not meant to be up that front in a group. I'm not. I don't know what I'm doing. I never know what I'm doing. Alright, here we go. What is it with this track, man? Like, I am so fucking nervous. I don't like this track. I gotta get over this.
I gotta start talking. Something's rabbit. Alright, here we go. Got a blue the line right there. Let's fall back into it though. Let's get right up in here. That actually felt better on the bike, taking it that way. And then,
Dude, that was fun chasing you. Yeah, I know. I thought you were gonna just keep going away, and then I was able to follow your lines, able to stay with you. So that was pretty exciting.
I thought one of you guys were behind me.
I was.
And I looked back at like 4 on the second lap, and it's only a racer. So I like.
Yeah. So you lapped traffic. I lost you for a little bit there, and then I caught back up. I kept forgetting to reset my lap timer, so I was trying to hang on going down the front straight. What laps were you running, Josh?
My best is a 42.
A 142? Yeah, last time my best was a 149. And I know that I beat it this time because I was holding out about close to 170 right before the braking zone. Yours was 202. I was just trying so hard to hang on going down the front straight. And in order to trip the lap timer, you got to hit the high beam switch. And so I'm sitting here.
All right, guys, we are working on coming back right now.
I'm going to try to focus on it.
This is part of the section of the video we were talking about where Jeremy, the corner worker, is going to come up and talk to us.
Yeah, so 214, 208, 212, 202, 206, 205, 215.
So.
So I actually hit 202 twice.
Oh, okay.
We are just waiting now for.
There were a couple of times where I got held up by traffic. I think one of the longer laps there was a Richard or a control rider
for the co-host.
Everybody back because somebody was meeting my first time.
Yeah, she was. I think I might have scared the crap out of her because I went by them.
What's really funny is I know we're only supposed to pass in the straight, but I got brave and passed in turn 8, and then I'm immediately like, bad Mike.
Oh, I was just following where him and the guys following him were going. He was passing.
Yeah.
All right, now this right here is important. No, it may look like we're in trouble, but we're not. When a rider with 20-some years of experience comes up and says, "Hey, I want to tell
Shanea
you
and
something,"
Jeremy from Remix. We're going to work on bringing them in.
You need to shut up and listen. Now,
we appreciate everybody being patient with us as we navigate our way through this for the first time. At the track,
there is lots and lots of opportunities to be able to learn from people who've been doing this for a very long time. And I really wish that we would have not interrupted him as much by talking and just let him unload this wealth of information that he has.
Yeah. But so, a couple things. One, like, you're just straight up right. I'm watching you go to a corner and you're just dangerously close to slide. Stay up on the balls of your feet. You're not actively kicking or breaking. Should be up on the balls of your feet. Okay? Okay? And then get off that bike a little bit more. And I know you're a big guy, but you got to try and get the center of gravity down. Because obviously you can give it more throttle if the bike's upright. The more you lean, the less throttle you can give it. The less throttle you can take. Right. So with you being over and the bike being up, more throttle must be a lot smoother of a bike. We just talking about that.
That's what I keep telling him.
Too much tire.
Yeah.
I don't care nothing about that.
Well,
indicator of the lanes. Like
yeah.
You need to get your ass off that seat a little bit more. Get up on the balls of your feet to keep them out the way. Because you got to remember, this isn't a race bike. You know, you look at some of our race bikes, the pegs are up and high. You don't have.
All right, camera's on. All right.
They don't even have cameras.
They will.
Oh, wait, hold on. Okay. All right, I see Shanea.
All right. Okay. Hello. How are you doing? I'm excited. I'm so excited. Oh, no, it's all good. It's all right. It's okay. It is all right. Oh.
Guys, I need to make it so I can put it on there and you guys can see it over here.
Hey, all right. Okay, so now let's go ahead and get them over onto this monitor so that we can see them.
Okay.
Go ahead and click transition real quick first.
Where's the mic? I mean, not the mic. There.
Oh,
Got it.
okay, you got it.
I don't have audio.
I got audio in the right speaker from Zoom for some reason.
Okay.
All right. We are just figuring out a few things.
Okay,
real
now I
quick.
get down here. Okay.
So, how is California right now? It looks like it's really sunny behind you, Shana. Yeah.
You go over that way.
Nice.
Let me see. Okay.
Oh, all right. There we go. Now we got you guys. So we have a wow.
Tim's is tearing
Step
this
over
apart.
here. I'm so excited. I bumped the table. No, so we've got you guys set up on a big screen TV right behind the camera, so we can look right at you and at the camera at the same time. But all right. Now, are we live? We are live. We have got Jeremy and Shana from the Remix Racing Project with us today to talk about motorcycles and mental health. Yeah, no, we are so excited to see you. It's always, you got this aura about you that just is amazing.
So,
And
can
where's
you guys see
Jeremy?
this over there? I can't see it on my end. Right here. Yeah, so what I'm
Yeah.
talking about is in the stream, I can see on Tim's phone, he can see them, but on my, but for me, I can't see that right here. I don't understand why.
Oh, wow. Okay, what track were you at?
Yeah, so I don't know why on my end I can't see that.
Yeah, so when I went down to Laguna Seca, I passed, when I was leaving there, I passed Buttonwillow, and then on our way back north from our vacation at Disneyland, we passed, and I was like, man, I want to go there so bad. Oh, really? Okay, all right. We're gonna get to that because I want to hear about that track and your experience and some of the things that go through your mind when you're on a new track. And I think we froze, but we're gonna continue. So the last time that I saw you guys was at Laguna Seca, and I want to know. I kind of want a highlight reel of some of the things that you guys went through since that weekend, and then where you guys were at the end of the season as far as points and goals that you guys had going into this season, and where you guys were at the end as far as accomplishing those goals, both as a team and as a rider. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That is incredible.
So, for both of you, what's the biggest thing that you've learned this year?
Yeah, and that. Okay.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That is exciting.
There you go.
I got a picture of that. I featured that in the video. I actually made it in the thumbnail. Mhm. Gotta be mentally. That's exciting. I love it. Wow.
Nice. Uh-oh. I think
Yeah.
we're losing Jeremy.
He might be going through a dead zone. But so now you're with Jeremy in the pits, right, Shanea? How much mental stress is there on the team to make sure the bike's ready, everything? Like, there's so much that goes on behind the scenes that if any of that goes and trips or has a misstep or fails, can affect how Jeremy's able to do out on track. And as the team manager, it's your job to basically take all that stress and kind of help everybody else out. Like, there's a lot going on there. Can you speak on some of that? Because I don't think that enough people know how much the team really helps the rider succeed. Yeah. Yeah. So what strategies do you employ to achieve that? Yeah.
So, in my experience with like mental health and stuff, small moments can make a big difference. So, can you think of a small victory like off track that had a big impact on track? Either one, just an example, of something that influenced or inspired Jeremy to and his performance.
Oh, she has a pre-race routine. I read about. Overcoming adversity.
That was better than what I was saying. I was saying like a quick pit change or you know like overcoming a mechanical thing very quickly. But that's even better than what I was thinking.
In that race, he had some good battles. He had some good battles. Unfortunately, it's not covered on the main broadcast. A lot of the battles that happened in the middle of the pack, but reading about it and hearing it from him when I was there, it's inspirational, and I wish that there was somebody there to like cover those moments of the race, because there is a lot more than just the battle going on for first through fifth. But right there in the middle, like that is where some of the biggest and most skillful racecraft is on display, is right there. And Jeremy, are you still with us? He's so humble. Yeah, we can hear you, yes. Yeah. Yeah. Man, the best battles and then yeah. Yeah. Oh, speaking of Moto America, they did reach out to us, and they said that they really appreciate the highlights and the coverage that we gave them from the Ridge and Laguna, and they offered us some tickets to go to Coda. It was, yeah, that was pretty cool. We're seeing if we can try to make that happen, but just like you guys, we froze again. We might have to change the battery on our camera, so, but you guys can still hear us. But I wanted to know, because like Jeremy was talking about, you guys have a 9-to-5 job outside of racing in Moto America, and that right there puts actually a lot more stress on you to perform during the racing season, because you're bouncing back and forth from a normal job to racing. Yeah. She's like, you have no idea. I can read it. I can read her captions. Yeah. Oh yeah. Kind of balances. Exactly. All right. So now that we got a bit of a backstory on Remix, and this year we're gonna start moving into the questions that we had prepared. And Jeremy, you've got a very just talking with you, your life is very there's a word I'm looking for, diverse, right? So, what was your darkest moment, and how did motorcycling help? Ow.
No.
Yeah. Statute of limitations.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Oh. Oh yeah. Wait for us again. Yeah. Try not to move the lens too much. Here, like this.
Okay.
And then that, you just flip this up and unscrew it. I wanted to ask Shanea about if she has anything on that question. So if he finishes, before I get back over there, go ahead. Oh,
I got you. Yep, no, we're here. We're having a little bit of difficulties with the camera, but no, that's all absolutely amazing. Shanea, we wanted to ask you the same question though. What was your darkest moment, and how did motorcycling help?
great. Okay, now let's make sure that Mike's in frame. Yeah, I'm in frame. Oh. Oh, wow. Yeah. That is, I mean, but that connected you to Jeremy, like everything. Um, yeah. That is incredible. Yeah, no, motorcycling, just the motorcycle community for me here in Washington with Pure Adrenaline. It's a Facebook group here locally that Mike and I ended up getting in contact with through some other people that ended up helping me. My brother, my youngest brother, had committed suicide in 2023, right after the birth of my daughter. And that was a pretty tough time for me because I hadn't ever experienced anything like that. So I had no gauge on whatnot. I went from one of the happiest moments in my life with the birth of my daughter to 28 days later, getting a phone call while I was getting ready to play a pool tournament, that my brother had taken his life.
Yeah, 2023 was just a year that kept taking.
It did for our entire family. For our entire family, 2023 was pretty dark. But that's when
my parents died.
yeah, but that's when you started riding motorcycles. I had 2 bikes, and I was like, you know what? Mike and I were down here in the studio. That's also my pool room.
This guy, he started street riding with a 2018 Super Sport, and then he had bought a 2021 Street Fighter.
2022.
2022 Street Fighter. But regardless, I come over with my family for a barbecue, and he throws a helmet at me saying, "I've got 2 bikes and 2 helmets. Let's go."
Yeah.
Keep in mind,
I did give him a
I
jacket.
have 0 minutes, 0 minutes of seat time. I had never ridden a bike before, and he throws me on a 939cc bike to teach me how to ride, and we froze again. These cameras are going to drive me crazy. But,
We can swap over to that other camera. Maybe it's just an issue with that one. Maybe it's getting hot. I don't know. But we're gonna keep this show on the road.
Yeah, so we've got another question. We'll throw it at Jeremy first. Although maybe you have a different example. Maybe you already answered it. It's okay to go back into more detail. But can you share a time when writing saved your life, either literally or emotionally?
Okay. We need to move that camera over. Yeah. And a community. Yeah. So then that answer right there. Oh. Yeah. So that answer right there ties perfectly into this next question. All right. So what advice would you give someone feeling hopelessness right now, or hopeless right now? Yeah. My eyes crossed.
Did we switch cameras? Because we're frozen.
Yeah. All right, let's wait to plug it in until it's in the cradle this time. All right.
Yeah, because the funny thing is, it's continuing on that screen. It's not continuing.
It's definitely never
on
easy.
broadcast.
Jeremy, did you have anything to add to that?
Is there more direct hookup or is this direct?
This is
Yeah.
as direct as you can get.
You got better.
Yeah.
Or just want me to hit the whole camera?
Right here.
Good. I'm like, you got everything, so you're seeing it.
Oh, no. Yep. That's all good. But we got to aim this thing and get it focused before we plug in. That way we're not showing off my boondock saints and my weights and just that pole, not a big deal. And then here we go. I don't even know if it's the camera. It might be the connection over here timing it.
I was gonna say, everything looks good on the camera, but everything here, maybe it's the cord? Or is it your software?
I have no idea.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know, that's something we need to try to figure out, I guess.
Let me go plug this in real quick while my stuff
Yeah, I like that. We all have bad days, but not on the same day.
Oh. Oh, all right. So, going to the next one.
Yeah, what myths around suicide and masculinity need to be challenged? Do you have an example of one that you would like to see debunked or removed as a roadblock for some people?
What are some examples that you see? Because you guys run a group where a lot of these things are brought to light, to attention, and maybe somebody's going through something right now and they don't know that is what it's called. Keep streaming.
Oh, we're frozen again.
It's all right. Let's fix.
What needs to click keep streaming? It's not over here. Why do I have your voice in my ear?
I don't know what's happening. Okay, we're still.
No, we're still live on YouTube.
Yeah, I think what happened was the TV. Oh, that's what happened. Okay. It was the screen sharing. What is happening here? Okay, that's fine.
Go ahead and fix the camera.
Yep.
And it kind of on that note for like, you know, asking for help. But the other hand of that would be, what can friends or writers do to spot warning signs in other people? So before we go over to Jeremy, I think you said when somebody has a get off.
What is that?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, we're still new to the scene, so
Wasn't quite sure what that terminology was. Good call there, Mike. So, yeah. So, I had a moment in my, well, it was actually about a 5-year time span where I didn't realize what I was experiencing was feeling like, you know, it never got to a suicide level, but there was definitely a high level of stress and anxiety. And in a relationship that I was in, I didn't realize what was actually going on to where I like, there's some people that were telling me, you know, maybe this relationship isn't right. But I didn't know, I just thought that I shouldn't ask for help. I'm a man. I'm supposed to be a provider, and not to get into any religious things, but like it's the man's job to keep the house together and to find a way to overcome a lot of adversities in a relationship. Like, it's your job to figure things out. And so I just kept repressing a lot of it until one of my friends pulled me to the side. He saw that I was under a lot, but I didn't realize how much stress I was under due to the situations that from the relationship I was in. But he goes, Tim, I can tell you that something's going on. There's a lot of stress that you're going through. But you got to stop and ask yourself, you know, how much are you willing to put up with before you go and seek some help? He's like, you need to see a counselor, find somebody that you can confide in, talk to, and bounce everything off of, because this isn't healthy. He could see it in me physically, that I wasn't eating right, I wasn't taking care of myself. But having somebody that you can that is willing to listen to you, bounce ideas off of, can be a really strong tool. And for me, it was, I didn't realize how much abuse I was going through emotionally in the relationship I was in. And I mean, thankfully, I had that friend, because it was like, it's like a light switch. I was like, oh, hey, what am I doing to myself? You know, because there was a lot. I don't want to get into all of it online, but there was a lot. There was a lot that was going on at that time. And anytime I see somebody else going through that I see those warning signs, I tell them, I'm like, hey, if you need somebody to talk to, feel free to talk to me. I've been through it. You're not alone.
Hey, Mike.
Yeah.
They're saying they can't hear her. They can only hear you guys.
Okay. Hey, Shanea, can you talk a little bit? Yes. Yeah. Okay. All right. So
go ahead and repose the question to Jeremy.
Okay.
Shanea was going to have him answer.
All right. Hey, Jeremy, what do you have on that question?
Okay, so click on the window capture right there, and then settings. And cancel. Go to Zoom audio. Settings. Restart.
Missing in action. Those are some warning signs. When people are overwhelmed, they also tend to be a little more thin-skinned and quick to temper. And so that's another one to look for in your friends. People who drink or use drugs might start loading up on, alcohol and how much drugs they're doing as a way to kind of, cope or just kind of numb the painful feelings. So you see somebody's drinking really start to escalate or their drug use start to really take off. And dramatic changes in personality, you know, your friend, family member, loved one, whatever, they're just different. That's the time to check in. And by the way, I'm not suggesting that, you know, you try to pressure somebody into talking. You know, I think it's good to invite them, encourage them, and all of that. But I think it's just really just reminding them that you care, that you're worried about them, that you're here to listen, right? Not everybody needs you to solve their problems, but maybe they just need somebody like you were saying, Tim, just somebody just to listen, you know? And so I think, you know, if you see those signs, those indicators in somebody you care about, letting them know that you're worried about them, that you're here for them, and you know, I think that's sometimes all you can do, and even if they're not ready to take you up on it right now, I think just hearing that, just knowing that, can be that life raft for somebody who's in a really, really dark place.
Yeah, that's all really, really good information. Now, have you seen someone turn their life around through the riding lifestyle? This is a really interesting question.
You know, I'll just say that since I've been in the motorcycle and racing community, just kind of telling my story, lots of other people have come to me and said that they can relate, you know, that they're in recovery, or, you know, they're dealing with their mental health, and then, you know, more been a big part of their recovery journey. It's incredible. Like I in a way, I was really surprised, because, you know, people don't always lead with that. My name's so-and-so, and I struggle with mental illness or addiction. But once I started talking it, you know, I was really surprised at how many people came up and said, yeah, me too. And thank you for speaking up. And then nothing to be surprised about, because so many of us find motorcycles in the motorcycle community as a place to kind of reconnect, right? And to, you know, kind of find that healing space and that community of support. So yeah, I've met lots of people since I started this journey. I've met so many people. Have found motorcycles and to be just such a critical of our healing journey.
Right. All right. How about you, Shanea?
I exactly what Jeremy said. I mean, there's just been so many different examples of people throughout the years, not just in the racing community. Like Jeremy has said, my entire life has been in the motorcycle community from the time I was very, very small. And there's just been so many stories of either people coming into the motorcycle community and never knowing really what kind of passion they had until they saw this incredibly welcoming place, to people starting out super young and then walking away from the community and realizing in their life away from motorcycles they still had all of these friends and family members that continue to support them in their other endeavors in life. So again, yeah, I there are so many more stories that I can tell you that have a positive outcome in motorcycles than the opposite.
Mm-hmm. That is incredible. Yeah, this Jeremy's stories just resonate. Like I'm thinking about it, just how he was able to turn it around, and now he's able to use that that experience as a sounding board. Like, hey, you know, went through this. I see you're going through something. I made it. You can too.
Yeah, it's an incredibly powerful message, and it makes it so that it's real. There's beginning, middle, and an end to the journey, and Jeremy's very open about talking about it, and that's what I think has been so incredibly beneficial for Remix itself. Is again, any kind of questions, comments you want to talk to him about, he's willing to talk to you, and the same thing goes for us throughout the rest of the crew.
Yeah.
Most of us, if you see us at some of the events, you'll see we have buttons that say "Ask me about my journey," and really, it really is an invitation for you to ask me what I've been through, what's happened, and why am I here doing what I'm doing. Yeah,
It's so incredible to anybody who hasn't been to a Moto America race, being able to walk through the paddock and you don't even realize some of the people who you're walking past or you go and say hi to, their journey, their story, who they are. I mean, unless you unless you've watched Moto America on TV and like you're super familiar with every racer's profile, like there's so many stories and experiences there. It's just incredible. That was a mind-blowing experience for me, and then to meet you guys how we did, it was just like it couldn't been any better.
I agree. I feel very fortunate to have met you guys, and especially getting together now in this collaboration and pushing mental health and motorcycles. I think that it's incredible.
Yeah.
And really getting people to just have the normal conversations like we're here having. I love it.
And for our viewers and people who go back and rewatch this later or watch it for the first time later, we are planning on doing this every month. We've got different subjects all about mental health and racing. So we're going to keep this going for as long as we can. And we promise that the technical difficulties will be fixed. But this is
and we'll be bringing you hopefully from different places too. You know, currently Jeremy's traveling home from racing, and I'm still holding down the shop while he's out there doing that. But there'll be plenty of times where we'll be traveling in different places and hopefully get to talk to other team members.
Exactly.
Like we have a pretty big team, so we'll definitely reach out to get.
It would be really cool to be able to get a couple Moto America riders together with us, all of us, on the stream to be able to talk about mental health and their journeys. And I really see this turning into something really big for everybody. So let's go ahead and move on to the next question.
You want me to do this one? All right.
Yep. Oh, and this is Alfred. For anybody wondering why there is a yellow duck here, this is Alfred, named by one of my daughters, and it is the Ducati Dad's mascot.
Alfred the mascot. I love it.
He is currently on lease to us. This is my youngest daughter said, "Hey, Dad, you can borrow Alfred."
I love it. I'll tell her thank you.
Yes.
All right. So, how does physical movement, like riding, affect your mind?
You want to go, Shanea?
See gears turning.
I from a neuroscience perspective, I cannot speak to it. Jeremy can, but I can tell you that is if anyone knows me, that is the one thing that I tell everybody. If you are having a hard time, you need to just move. It just is what it is. Take an action. Go outside. Eat something that's your favorite. Pet the dog. Take an action. Take an action. The more your body moves, right? The more your body moves, the less you have to constantly think about what's going on in your brain. So if you're moving your body, you're exercising, you're riding your motorcycle, you're running, you're golfing, whatever it is you're choosing to do, you're choosing to not specifically spend time in your brain space. And I think it's one of the best things that you can do for your mental health.
And that's why a lot of the times what's highly recommended is to go exercise.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That is
But in
incredible.
some of my darkest times, yeah, even if it was a walk around to the end of the court that I lived and back, it was just taking the action of physically getting up and moving into another place and changing your environment, even if it was for a small amount of time, it really changes your mindset. And then having something to look forward to, like motorcycle racing. My goodness, you have to make sure that you're working out and you're lifting weights and you're eating good food and all those things because you end up wanting to really look forward to the one thing that you're going to get to do, which is motorcycle racing. So it all starts by one movement.
Yeah, exactly. Jeremy?
Yeah, we carry so much stress in our bodies, and and staying active, whatever that means, for the individual, right? Not everybody can go to the gym and work out. Sometimes it's like Shanea said, walking to the end of the block and back, but get your body moving. It's really important because the idea that our physical health and our mental health are two separate things is a false dichotomy. It's all part of the same thing. It's all part of the human experience. And healthy body, healthy mind is how you get healthy. And I really had to get it. I'm 53. I'll be 54 later this year. I started my racing career pretty late in life, and Moto America in my 50s. And I had to get in shape all over again. And when I was younger, I was a gym rat. I spent a lot of time at the gym. And obviously, when I was in my addiction, I was incredibly unhealthy, mentally, emotionally, physically, you name it. So getting healthy, physically healthy, moving my body, getting exercise was an important part of my healing journey, my recovery. For Moto America, I'm racing against kids that are a third my age, half my weight, and they've still been racing for twice as long as me, right? So how am I going to compete with them? And it's never too late to start or restart. So I started getting back into eating healthy and exercising, a lot of cardio, getting my heart rate up, moving my body. And I can't tell you how many times I come home after a long, stressful day of work, and I tell Shanea I'm going to go to the gym for an hour or so, and it's not to get fit; it's to get the stress out of my body.
Yeah.
I'm also getting in shape, but I'm also building endurance and all the things I'm going to need to compete in Moto America. But it's also to manage my stress and my mental health. And so I think it's absolutely critical. And the to be able to perform at the national level, at the national professional level, you have to have so many things working, and and keeping your mind and your body and your equipment and your team healthy. All of those things are incredibly important. And but even for somebody who doesn't race, even for somebody who's not interested in motorcycles, I don't know what's wrong with them, but I hear there are those people, they exist. Keeping active is really not just about physical health. It really is about mental and emotional health. It's really a good way to manage stress, which we carry in our body. Go get some exercise. You'll feel a lot better.
Yeah. Now we're gonna take a question from our from the comment section here in a little bit. So if you have any questions about mental health, motorcycles, or anything, go ahead and drop it down in the comment section, and we'll choose one or two. So what role does let me try that again. What role does storytelling play in suicide prevention? See some gears turning.
Yeah. So I think that knowing that somebody else has been through it
helps, and hearing their story. And so I think that that's where, like, the role, like, I think being able to connect with somebody who's been through it is really helpful. And I might have worded this question wrong, but yeah, well, that and all I was gonna say is you might not know where somebody is at mentally, and if you say, "Oh, I can relate," sometimes you're discrediting them and what they're going through, and that might not be the best course of action. But like you said, letting them talk, letting them feel like they're being heard, could be what brings them back. Go ahead, Shana. I'm sorry. Yeah.
So we actually have a prepared question here. What should we be doing more as a community? But I wanted to circle back to question 4 when we were talking about like myths and challenges. Because Jeremy was, well, both of you had mentioned like the stigma against males asking for help, and when you guys were talking about that, it had brought to mind a meme or whatever short reel that I had seen floating around on like Reddit, Facebook, and stuff like that, where gamer types into Call of Duty chat or whatever that he's feeling depressed, and the chat roasts him, right? Like they're like, oh, make it a good one, or whatever, like just like literally making fun of him for asking for help. And I feel like we've answered that question multiple times. Like as a community, we should be more accepting. We should be letting people know that they can be heard, that they have an outlet to go to. So instead, I'd like to ask both of you, what is an example personally of you feeling heard? Yes.
That's really good. That's really good. That was a solid question there, Mike. Jeremy. Oh, what was that, Shayna?
Oh yeah.
Oh, we're on the same wavelength.
Who you would be if you were not afraid of stigma and other people's judgment and expectation. And of course, you walk into a room full of strangers and there's going to be a lot of that. And if, so then you have to kind of put on a facade. You have to edit your truth. You're never going to be comfortable being vulnerable. And so you start in the small, intimate places with people who you can build a trusting relationship and cultivate that brave space, right? So Shanea and I, we came up with this concept, and it's not that we coined the term, but we came up with this concept early in our relationship as we got to know each other, and we would hear each other's truth, and we would respond without criticism, without shaming, right? Like, it was like, wow, I am so grateful that you shared that with me.
Right.
Time she said something like that to me after I kind of took a leap and said something that, I could have been really embarrassed about. And it wasn't just that it was okay that I spoke my truth, but she was rewarding me for that by telling me how much she appreciated it. And then I got to reciprocate, right? To do the same for her. And then, so we developed this concept of brave space, and that's what kind of gave birth to the support groups and the concepts in the book. Is we start with a few people, and then we start to build a community around that concept. And that's what we're doing with Remix Recovery, is we're really trying to build a community of people who are willing to have those really honest and vulnerable and authentic conversations, free from stigma and judgment and criticism and other people's expectations. And it's incredibly therapeutic. And if you've never had that experience, I would say reach out to us. I mean, that's one thing that we haven't done yet is we've talked about how we go out in the paddock and we speak our truth, and other people want to come up and tell theirs. But I want to make this invitation to all your listeners. You can find us on our website and find us online, Remix Recovery and the Remix Racing Project, and join the community.
Exactly.
But the message, and that's how it starts, and it grows from there.
And we need to get like an official logo from you guys.
I was just about ready to message Shayna about
that. Send me a message, Tim, and I'll make sure we get that information to you.
Yeah. Okay.
When you guys are talking about like Remix in an official capacity or inviting people to come see you guys out, we can.
Yeah.
Do you have any questions?
We'll definitely make that happen.
Yeah. I was just thinking about that. There was a perfect time to put a plug that we'd be able to put up on the screen. But
and Jeremy, when we're doing these podcasts with you guys, there's no shameless plugging, right? Like, plug away. This is it's about you guys. It's your space. So.
Thank you.
All right. So. All right.
It's also something that we're going to keep working on and refine so that it can continue to grow and reach a wider audience. So.
Yeah. Yeah. So for our last question, and then we'll get into some a little bit of motorcycle talk. How do you personally find meaning and motivation now in your, like, now that the racing season's over, right?
Don't say that.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I mean, okay, so this right here is kind of a segue question. One, it pertains to mental health, but also I kind of want to use this question to go and, like, you guys accomplished a lot this year. Moto America Racing, new bike, new tracks, and everything, right? But now, how do you set yourself up to for motivation for next year?
I'm going to leave that to Jeremy.
Well, I'll tell you, we like we talked about earlier, this year completely exceeded all of our expectations, both on track and off track, with the racing, with the nonprofit. It was really incredible. And I think we both feel that this is part of our calling. We feel an obligation to continue to build the momentum. And it's a heavy lift. It's really a heavy lift. And, it takes, effort and energy. It takes a lot of money, by the way. Speaking of shameless plugs, we're always looking for sponsors and donors and partners who don't just want to, invest in a racer or a race team, but really believe in what we're doing by carrying this message in our racing and beyond. But, as we look toward next year, when this whole idea was born just a few years ago, right, Shanea and I were doing this kind of stuff in our personal life and even in our professional life. I work in the field. And but when we decided we wanted to create something, we wanted to create this space, this brave space, build this community, this wasn't going to be an event. It was going to be a journey. And, and it's really tough to lay out a timeline, with milestones and objectives along the way. You just kind of do your best and hope that it resonates with people and gets some traction. And, so like we keep saying, it just kept exceeding our expectations. So I would say that we're both incredibly motivated to continue to build this. And it's not what we are carrying between the two of us and the rest of our team and the rest of our nonprofit board and everything else. But again, it's this community and this coalition, people who really want to either join us in carrying the message and building the programs and really kind of hands-on helping us carry the load. And there have been so many. Our team just keeps growing. But also the people who in their own lives get inspired and they pay it forward, right? And they touch, and there's going to be countless, acts of goodwill that come from people who get inspired. And it might not be from me and Shanea. It might be from somebody else who maybe went to one of our groups or read our book or met us in the paddock or watched this podcast and got inspired and started making positive changes in their own life, living by example, and then doing goodwill to others. And I think, again, I don't want to speak for Shanea, but I can tell you that we both get so much out of being of service to other people, selfless service to other people. That's really key. And again, if we could touch 5 lives who then touch 5 lives and so on, then we know that we're making a difference, and that's inspiring. That inspires my hope and my motivation to keep going.
You're giving me goosebumps, Jeremy. Yeah, and I can speak to how well of a rider you are. If you go onto Remix's website, he goes and has his Jeremy has his recap where he talks about the races, and oh my god, like, you are so gifted at being able to write. Like,
He is
and your
very, very
storytelling.
talented at that. Absolutely. I agree with you wholeheartedly, Tim. He takes you on an adventure with those reports.
Yeah, the way he's able to make the words, like,
Yeah.
wordsmith is definitely a strong adjective there to describe his ability to write. And one of these times we got to have him just go and tell the story of one of these races, and like, verbally.
We'll make that happen. I think that'd be neat.
Yeah, but yeah, going into next year, what's the plan for racing?
Been talking a lot about this lately. Shanea,
Yes,
you want to
we
take this
have.
one?
I think that we are, like Jeremy just said, we are driven to continue to bring the stigma reduction to the paddock.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a need, there's a want, and like Jeremy said, the fulfilling nature of getting to talk to everyone and to potentially make a difference in lives, and to really, to take the bull by the horns, not just say, I want to help reduce mental health and addiction stigma. We are committed to making that happen.
That's incredible. I should have prefaced that question a little bit better. I was referring to the race team. Are you guys staying in the super hooligan class? Are you moving to super sport? There's been a little bit of talk, not to get into too much of the politics of around Moto America, about them with the super stock, or the stock 1000 class. And I didn't know if that right there was going to play any part in, like, what your guys' plans were for next year, whether you're staying in super hooligan or you're moving to a different class.
I think it's pretty confident. I can pretty confidently say, and again, we haven't made final decisions yet, but as the team manager, I'm pretty positive we are going to stick with the MT09 Super Hooligan.
Yeah, it's a solid platform.
It's who we are.
Yeah.
So you guys got a taste of points this year. Are you planning on being more competitive and pushing the envelope a bit next year?
We're racers.
Always pushing the edge.
All right. So let me tell you. So, our first foray into Moto America was last year at Laguna Seca in Super Sport, and so, I raced Super Sport in the one race, and it was one of the most stressful things I think we've ever been through, but also the most rewarding. Like, it was just incredible to achieve that. Was really something. Just to qualify and then to race with, in the premier class was just such an incredible honor. We have a friend who races Super Hooligan that I reached out to in the off season, before this year, and asked what he thought about Super Hooligan for me, and he thought it was a good idea, and I trust his judgment. So we built the MT09 Super Hooligan, and and as we've been talking about, just had an incredible amount of success and had a blast, and we're really competitive, and my recovery and my racing has always been about, what else have you got? Like, I did that, I checked another box, and what's next? And by the way, if you live your life like that, whether it's in motorcycles or anything else, if you just challenge yourself, right? If you don't settle, if you fight those self-defeating thoughts And and you fight all that imposter syndrome stuff, and you just do it anyway. It's just incredible how much you can accomplish. And so, yeah, we're absolutely going to do even better next year in every respect. So I'm driving home from a race weekend, and at this race weekend, it was a new track.
Yeah.
I'd never been to it before, and I brought 3 bikes. I brought my Super Hooligan bike. I brought my Super Sport bike from last year, which is 2017 Yamaha R6. And then I brought an older R6, a 2008. And, part of what I really developed over the last, couple of years as a racer, especially in Moto America, is how to adapt very quickly. Like, you don't have time to get up to speed. You don't have a whole season to learn a new bike or to learn a new track. You need to pick it up really, really quick. And I kind of, I built that muscle over the last year or two, and I really like it now. And so going to a new track with 3 different bikes was, I had a lot of fun, but it was really also to kind of challenge myself. And I spent a lot of time on the R6 because I wanted to see, can I still ride it? And I was competitive on all 3 bikes, but I love the Super Hooligan class. I just love the class. At Mid-Ohio, we had, I think, 49 entrants. It is by far, for riders, the most popular and fast-growing class in Moto America. And I know that the baggers get all the attention, and the two premier classes of Superbike and Super Sport get a lot of attention. But for riders, the fastest growing class has been Super Hooligans. And, Roland Sands built this class, and now we've got Arch competing in it. We have Saddleman and Harley, who've really taken an interest, invested a lot.
Harley,
and,
Harley has they have really taken over the class.
Yeah, and I don't mind. I mean, look, here's the deal. I know that I'm going to be a mid-pack privateer. I'm not going to be fighting for podiums. I'm fighting for points, and I'm fighting, for good battles and to improve my skills and my performance on the track. And I've been doing that, and I'm going to keep doing that. But I'll tell you, I'm actually very grateful for the attention that Arch and Keanu Reeves brought to the paddock this year, and all of the money that Saddleman put in there, and all of the Roland Sands promotion, the Mission Foods, all of that just brings more attention to the class that I'm racing in, and it also brings out the best competition.
Exactly.
I remember when I was a novice, my novice year, I won all these championships, and then I thought, should I sandbag next year, or should I move up into the X class? And I was talking to a buddy of mine, and he said, well, what are your goals as a racer? Are you trying to collect a bunch of cheap plastic trophies, or are you trying to get faster? I said, well, I'm trying to get faster. And so the only way to get faster is to chase faster. I'm actually not somebody who complains about, all the guys in front of me with all the factory support, factory money, and everything else. Give me something to chase and bring attention to our sport and help us grow our sport. That's good for everybody.
Iron sharpens iron. You gotta surround yourself with people with the same mindset as you, and there goes. Yeah. And when you're competing, if you're always at the top, you're not getting any better. So you got to keep raising the bar, whether it's against yourself or finding people to chase.
Exactly.
All right, so we got a couple of things going on over here. So we have a neighbor who's very enthusiastically doing burnouts. You may have heard them a couple of times in the background, and the family just got home. So I think now would be a good time to get some closing thoughts from both of you. And then we'll go ahead and wrap up for this evening, and we'll look forward to next month. We'll try and communicate or advertise this a bit more so we can have a higher viewership and reach some more people. But Let's start with Jeremy. Do you have any closing thoughts?
Yeah, I really appreciate this partnership. You know, I want to say that, you know, Tim, I am so incredibly sorry for your loss, the loss of your brother. And there's nothing that can take that pain away, and there's nothing that can bring him back. But the fact that you're turning that into something positive, you're carrying a message of hope, you're reaching out, you're trying to find a way to save the next person who's thinking of doing what your brother did. I think that's what this is about, right? And I'm so glad that we met and that we're building this partnership and that you're helping us amplify the message, because we've all been through awful tragedy, awful suffering, and really the choice now is not just do we keep going, but do we make something beautiful out of something that was so tragic. And so that's what I think that we need to do. I think that's the choice that we get to make. And I just hope together we keep making the better choice, exactly. Not just for us, but for all the lives that we can touch as we you know, continue on this journey.
Exactly. Oh, thank you.
Honestly, I want to mirror what Jeremy said. I'm very thankful that we got to meet you guys in Washington. I was very excited at the opportunity, and now to see that we are actually doing it, is really exciting to me. And yeah, I'm hopeful that we'll continue to touch lives in ways that we haven't even yet thought or discovered. So yeah, I guess I'd encourage everybody to hang on for the ride, because this is going to be super fun.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, I mean, everything starts small, and it's like an avalanche.
Yeah.
Gather up more snow as you go down the mountain, and we're gonna keep pushing. And we're so blessed to have met you guys, and we're able to help spread your story, and then we're able to spread our message, and you know, everything that we're doing here at the Ducati Dads for rider safety and mental awareness, and then just education through motorcycles. And this next year we're hoping to get into racing. And
I was going to say, shameless plug, we're wanting to try and document our journey from dad bod to track
to
bod
race bod. Yeah.
I know that we haven't talked about this yet, but we actually, one of our main sponsors is Helix, and we have an incredible product that Helix provides us for our athletes. So
Nice.
What we'll do is we'll package up some of our Helix products and send it to you guys. It'll help in transforming your bodies to racer bodies.
Race bods. From dad bod to race bod. Like
there you go.
Yeah. No, we're definitely going to be hitting the gym, doing a lot more exercise. A lot more exercises. We're going to document it. It won't be the primary focus of every video, but it'll be a little anecdote. Each video we'll put in something.
Steady check-ins.
Yep, steady check-ins. And during this off season, we're going to be picking up a couple bikes to build, and we're excited to for this next stage, but also talking about mental health as we go along and trying to help everybody. And with this project here every month, next month we're gonna, like Mike said, we're gonna advertise more, and we'll refine our process and how we're delivering all of us speaking to our audience here. We're gonna keep developing this, and we're hoping to make it bigger and bigger each and every month.
We're definitely on the bandwagon, ready to make it happen.
Let's do it. All
Great.
right.
Well, thank you all so very much.
Yeah.
We'll chat for sure in the next week.
Yeah. All right. So we're going to go ahead and close this out here. Thank you guys for watching. If you're with us live, go ahead and press that thumbs up button. If you're coming in after the fact, after we've posted this on YouTube forever, go ahead and smash that like button. If you're new to the channel, click subscribe. We'll catch you guys on the next ride.